Hey everyone, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Desiree.
And we're bringing you this week's Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide.
This week on the guide, we are continuing our fold series. This is where we take a root pattern fold and we add to it a little bit of variation and variety. The fold is a great move in West Coast Swing, but there's lots of ways to jazz it up, and so we're going to be talking through the second week of a back-to-back fold as a root pattern variation sequence. We'll show you first and then get into lead follow.
First, our basic version from last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then if we add a leader's turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then a follower's turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then one where we both turn. 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Breaking this down for our leaders. Just like we talked about last week with the basic version, it's really important on that fold part that we don't drop this hand down. That helps partly with space management so that we don't get too far apart on the back-to-back part. It also helps that arm to not feel herky-jerky when we go from waist height into the turn versus the hand is all the way down. It feels even more sudden for our followers. Now, breaking down each individual move for the leaders. For that leader's turn, let's get to count 4, 3, and 4. Here we're really riding the energy created by the distance between us around. Then we just lift our hand, we make a nice window here by thinking about this pizza hold. Then we turn through it for 5, 6, and anchor it out for 7 and 8. Now our follower's turn, pretty much the same thing. We again use that momentum from coming around, except this time we take the hand over the follower's head. Where it gets a little bit more complicated is when we both spin. Now leaders, even though it looks like we're both spinning at the same time, that's really an illusion. I'm actually turning Desiree and then turning myself. That's so that our arms don't get pulled one way or the other. So notice as we go through this super slow motion, it feels like that follower's turn, and then I just sneak through the bridge too.
Yeah. And for our followers, the key to being responsive to any of these variations in the wild is to be well connected on count 4. So whether it's a basic or one of our variations, let's stop on 4. This is the key moment, followers. We do not want to add the idea of connection by extending or tensing the arm. This actually clips our ability to listen to our partner through the physical connection. Likewise, we don't want to reverse that, go to the opposite extreme and give a limp connection or have spaghetti arms. We in fact want to create connection with our body through our arms by expanding and engaging our core through the arm. So it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look or feel like this. It looks like expanding open through the core to create the connection in the middle. If we do that on count 4, what the leader is going to feel is a bit of a spring-like connection where the leader can then, your choice, Matt, do whatever he wants or she wants to create the lead. So, how do we become responsive now that we're well connected to these wide variety of moves? If it's a basic, we're not going to feel any difference in the direction. So, we already have our directions, followers. Our direction is to get down the slot. So we're simply going to fill that out with our anchor. If the leader is asking for a leader's turn, they're actually asking us to stay put. And so we're going to feel that with an upward lead in the hand without any rotation. So when I feel that, I've expanded my core open and I feel up. I'm going to take 2 steps, allow my arm to be let up, and then triple to anchor. If the leader is asking me to turn, whether or not the leader is asking me to turn on my own or alongside the leader, what I'm going to feel is rotational connection. My hand and my arm being guided to my right. I'm going to step through that bridge and then triple around. The key again is expanding the frame to allow for responsiveness on count 4, by count 4, to fulfill the rest of the movement.
That was your guide. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can check us out online at risingtideswing.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter as Rising Tide Swing Institute.